Hi there. As you can see, ran the Great Birmingham Half Marathon back in 2022 for Children's Acres Hospice, and I've actually just booked up to do the Great Birmingham Half Marathon again. I'm actually doing it for the same cause. But anyway, the reason I'm recording this video is to show you about how I go about planning out my training when I train for an event. Now, the first thing I will say, everyone's different. So for some people, you might not be too bothered about trying to get a personal best or to do it within a certain time, and that's absolutely fine. We're all different. For myself, I like to challenge myself and just really kind of train myself to allow my body and my mind to do the best that I'm able to do on the day. So this isn't necessarily going to be for everyone, but this is a little insight into how I plan out my training when I'm really trying to kind of push myself and just see what I'm able to achieve on the day. So as you can see, it's a few years ago now, so I'm a little bit older. I managed to do the half marathon in 1 hour 40, and I would love to go sub 1 hour 40. So if I could get 135 or even 137, 138, I would be delighted. I know it is going to be a physical and a mental challenge. So all I've done is literally just gone back to have a look at my training. So this is back in May 2022. And as you can see, if you look at the number that is in blue, hopefully you can see that it says fitness 62. Don't worry too much about what that number means. The key thing is that is a measurement of my fitness, and I managed to get it to 62, and that enabled me to achieve that 1 hour 40 half marathon back in 2022. So what I am thinking is that I am going to need to get my fitness to probably 65, 67, something like that in the next 12 or 14 weeks or so. So I use a piece of software called Training, which is what I use to plan out my training, and also whenever I am coaching runners through the online coaching programs that I've devised, then this is what they use, and they get a training plan that is bespoke to them. But that's not the purpose of this video. So as you can see, my fitness is 57. If you can just see where my cursor is on the right hand side, it's 47. I think I said 57. No, I wish it was 57. 47. And then all we do is we skip forward and just go and have a look, get myself back through to May. There we go, I've put it in. So 14 weeks until the event. So I've put that in already. That's the event there. So that gives me 14 weeks. And when I am training out my planning, what I always like to do is just to account for the fact that we do, live in the real world. So yes, I've got 14 weeks between now and Sunday, the 3rd of May 26, but I'm going to knock 2 weeks off of that and say I've got 12 weeks in terms of actual training, because I might get injured, I might get a niggle, I might get something that holds my training back a little bit. Sometimes life gets in the way. I might get ill, I might get a cough, might get a cold. So my training plan will be based on 12 weeks and plus the taper week before the event. So essentially what I will do is I will build out 5 weeks of training, then it will have a slightly easier week, and then another 6 weeks of training, giving me 11 weeks plus the taper week, and then those 2 weeks just to allow for all those curveballs that can get in the way in terms of like illness, injury, life events, someone getting ill, something happening at work, whatever it is. I'm not going to spend the rest of the video showing you exactly how I build out the coaching program or the training, because that's in a different video. But I just thought it might be helpful to give you an insight into how I devise my training when I am trying to really kind of get my body and my mind to get itself as close to the limit as I possibly can. No, this isn't going to be the way that everyone trains, but if you do have a race lined up and you do really want to kind of see what your body and your mind is capable of doing, then feel free to base your training about on the way that I devise my training programs. I've worked in this way with a number of different clients, and it does work. So I've got I know what works, and I know it works for myself. So now the easy bit is planning out the training program. The hard bit is going to be actually getting the training done and executing it. But I hope this really is helpful for you, giving you a little insight into how I train. If you have any questions about this, or indeed if you want to ask me about devising a coaching program for a specific event that you have coming up in the next 3 to 6 months, then do feel free to reach out to me. Okay, take care, and just remember that imperfect action is the only way to make progress. Take care.